So, welcome to Intersection Magazine podcast. My name is Nicholas Kianda, and my first guest in this new year, this exciting new year, is a young man that I met through the internet conversation I had on my email. He reached out to me after he saw something I'd written about time travel and how time travel can be used to uh, identify investment patterns. It can be useful for decision making for those who are in the investing and entrepreneurship world. His name is Chris Champion. I'm excited to have him on. Chris Champion has been in the industry for over 30 years, so he comes with a vast pool of experience, investment, and championing investment to about 120 companies. And we're talking about maybe 300 million USD in terms of how much he's raised, helped those companies raise. And so I'm really interested in getting to know a little bit more about what his ideas are, the world of investment, especially given his experience. Just learn a little bit more about the ecosystem as it stands in the US, of course, and maybe closer to home where he does his work. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sounds good. Super glad that you have me on. I appreciate your time. One thing that I've learned is, being an entrepreneur is inherently something that's different about you as a person. I think it's
Mm,
actually down to your DNA.
okay.
I don't think it's a learned skill set. I think you're either an entrepreneur or you're not.
Mm,
And growing up at a very early age, realized I was going to be an entrepreneur. One thing
hmm.
about being an entrepreneur is you gotta understand how to interpret failure. When you
Okay.
fail, some people when you fail in life, they think it's the end of the world. An
Hmm.
entrepreneur just keeps going. He learns from
Mm,
his failures most of the time. Sometimes they
mm,
don't learn the lesson, so they have to learn it again. But
okay.
inherently, I think being an entrepreneur is what made me a great investor because I understood what was necessary for companies to succeed. And as an
Hmm.
investor, I look for great individuals, not great companies. Great
Okay.
companies are
Okay.
made up by great individuals.
That's true. That's true. So, like in terms of areas of operation, give us a rough idea what kinds of geography where you've been able to operate, where you've worked, or where you began as an entrepreneur, and then of course you transitioned into the investment world.
I mean, I think it just came to me that when you get a chance to be a part of a bunch of startups and you have
Hmm.
some success in your life,
Hmm.
that ultimately brings you other deals. People come to you and they want your opinion, or they want
Okay.
your guidance, or they want your direction, or they want your
Hmm.
input. And
Hmm.
inherently, you have to ask yourself, am I going to give this information? Am I going to give my time away for free? Or
Hmm.
am I going to get equity in return? So I
Hmm.
started getting deals where I got equity in return. And
Okay.
then that ultimately led to me actually putting money into companies that I thought were good because I wanted more equity. And when you
Okay.
find a good company, when you find a good project, a good opportunity,
Hmm.
those are the ones that you really got to take advantage of and do amazing work with.
Okay. Uh, in terms of my personal story, I started off really young. My mom was doing some baking, and so she taught me a little bit, bits and pieces here and there. So I started thinking about selling cookies and cakes to my friends in school. And then my older brother, had a secret. He has a secret closet where he used to put quotations and images of things he wanted to be doing, and he had one specific about entrepreneurship, and he defined the word entrepreneur. That was, gosh, maybe 40 years ago. So I came across the word entrepreneur very young age. I didn't even know what it meant, but I only realized this decades and decades later. And so I've been working Uganda, East Africa, just trying to cover the investment landscape, trying to see if we can have a similar model to what you have in Silicon Valley, the typical ecosystem that has the universities, the companies, government, investors, whether that's angel investors, venture capitalists, and the rest of the different aspects that make up of a healthy ecosystem. So I started writing about the opportunities that exist in my country, trying to cover the hubs that we have, the technology hubs, the accelerators and incubators, and then trying to see if there's anything we could learn from what you've done in the U.S. So I'm curious in terms of geography, like where do you, in terms of, I've noticed there's a summit in Las Vegas, but is that where you work primarily, or is there a limit in terms of geography, in terms of where you're working?
So I travel quite a bit, and
Okay,
I'm here in Las Vegas now, but I'll be at the
okay,
Super Bowl in February,
okay,
and I'll be down in Austin, Texas, doing some stuff down there. I'll be down speaking at Wall Street Bets Live. Yeah, so I go to a lot of events where I I literally get a chance to put my brand out there and get a chance to meet people face to face.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about your artificial intelligence project.
I think AI is something that every business in 2026 is going to have working for them, or they
Mm-hmm.
are going to find themselves way behind those who do.
Okay.
And we
Okay.
built the largest AI platform in the world that gets people booked on podcast interviews.
Okay. Okay. I've done a little bit of work with Bordy. I don't know if you've heard of Bordy. Bordy just raised quite a round investment. But what it's basically been doing is it's an agent that lets me that helps me learn bits and pieces about investment and connects me to possible deals. It's almost like a one-on-one tool that helps me learn and helps me brush up on my opportunities and investment ideas, preparing pitch decks and all those kinds of things. But some of the little that I've heard, in terms of the AI is it seems to be underutilized. And then, of course, I've also had the idea that they've said people here and there talking about it being a bubble. What are your thoughts about that?
Definitely not a bubble, that I'm sure of. Underutilized, yeah. I think people are just now starting to understand how to get AI agents to work for them. So yeah, it's
Okay.
I agree it's underutilized.
Now, in terms of the companies that you've invested in, is there a specific sector that you've invested in, or over the last 30 years?
Yeah, I'm a big investor in software. I believe
Okay,
in
software.
software. Software is easily scaled, and if you hit it, if you solve the right problems, you'll make significant money.
Okay, okay. Tell us a little bit more about champion experiences.
I've done over 300 private dinners, lunches, and breakfasts. I
Mm-hmm.
find that when you put people in a room together and they
Mm-hmm.
share some food together,
Mm-hmm.
they will put their phones away and you'll have
Mm-hmm.
real connections. You'll get a chance to really connect with people.
Then I'm also curious about like the AI agents. What kind of different tools exist in the AI world in terms of Uh, we've come across the standard chat GPT, images and video. Where are the opportunities? What are we missing? Where should we be putting our attention in terms of what we should be learning?
I think entertainment and videos are the biggest opportunity in 2026 utilizing AI. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can literally create world class cartoons and storylines and
Mm-hmm.
literally sell those as entertainment packages. And you got so much opportunity. What literally took, $1 million Hollywood budget can now be done out of your bedroom.
Do you find a lot of pushback in terms of those who are mainstream Hollywood for the work that you're doing?
Well, I mean, like anything in life, Hollywood was eventually going to die as a business anyhow. And now
Mm-hmm.
you're literally creating Hollywood. Everyone has the ability to create a movie now.
Okay. Oh, I'm curious. What are your thoughts about? Do you like come across quite a number of investors that are building for generally what you could call maybe like the secular world? But do you have like any specific thoughts in terms of your role of faith in your investment? Have you built or created events around religious faith or spirituality or
The
that kind
Lord
of
is
thing?
my shepherd. I shall not want. I think faith matters more now than ever in all parts of business.
I mean, I've attended quite a few events here, and I've noticed there's a gap between those who are developing. We normally have like the hackathons, and we have as well the we bring together builders of opportunities for people to create products. But there's very few of us that are, or there's been very little attention to faith-based apps. So, like, what opportunities exist in that?
Well, I don't know about faith based apps, but I do know that you have to have faith in your life. There are going to be ups and there's going to be downs. But the one
Hmm.
thing that's going to be consistent in your life is that God will always be there for you. And you've got to have faith not only in God, but also in yourself. When you're born, God whispers in your ear that greatness is your destiny, my child. And literally, God wants you to succeed. He literally is there every single day wanting you to succeed. And it's up to you to have faith in yourself, also to believe in yourself.
Now, I wanted to learn a little bit more about your insights that you share in terms of the community of entrepreneurs that you have oversight over. What are some of those insights that you would like to share in terms of what you've learned or what you're sharing with them?
I think at the end of the day, most entrepreneurs are either successful or
Mm-hmm.
fail
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, they've got to have faith in themselves. That it's that lack of faith that ultimately holds people back from their greatest version of themselves. I mean, look at this little angel. This is Theo. He has faith that he can do anything. There's literally nothing this guy doesn't believe he can't do.
What's his name?
Theo.
Theo. Is that what breed is he?
He is part king and part puppy. That's why we
Okay.
call him the little king.
Okay. A little bit about the Podcasters Summit.
So we do a summit where, in fact, we're going to be down in Orlando on January 15th with about 1,000 podcasters. And when you
Okay.
put that many podcasters in the same location, a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of magic that happens. You can create live content. You can create great connections and relationships. I think podcasting inherently is bringing the world closer together, letting people get to know each other.
What are your thoughts about, like, for example, I've had lots of people say that there's a lots of opportunity in niche podcasting, covering just specific areas, just leaning in on just those specific areas.
So my podcast is called Chopping It Up with Chris Champion, and I don't put myself in a niche. I literally like having organic conversations. I think if
Mm-hmm.
you do a niche, that's fine. That's your decision. But at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, I think putting yourself in a pigeonhole or in a category doesn't
Mm-hmm.
leave you open to other kinds of conversations.
That's true. Okay. Thank you so much for those insights. I suppose I've come away with appreciation for faith, for more than just religion, but faith and belief in yourself, but of course in God as the supreme creator, because I'm a believer myself. How can people get in touch with you? How can people
You can
get in
find me
touch with
on
you?
YouTube and
Okay. Thank you so much. Are you open for partnerships in terms of investment? Are you what areas are you investing in?
I'm always looking for investments. I believe that the only way that you make more money is to get your money to work for you.
Great. Thank you very much. I hope to continue this conversation a little bit later on. Uh, Thank you for your work.
Well, I appreciate it. We're all here put on this planet to do something special with the life that we have. You're doing
That's true.
something special right now.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Champion.
All right. All right,
Appropriate
Nicholas.
name.
I'll talk to you soon.